Boys, the free agency frenzy's pretty much over. The draft's like 20 or so days away. Things have simmered down, man. This is like a little bit of a lull in the season. This is a time, man, when you want to be fleecing your teammates, dude. Sneak into your friend's house, dude. Take a shit in his toilet, man. Steal his food from his fridge. Fleece your teammates now. This is the time. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys some wide receivers. These are wide receivers that you should be trying to buy now, dude. So whether it's Dynasty or even take this as like advice for who to draft and redraft, these are players that you want to be getting. And let's hop into the first name. It's going to be Lad McConkey. 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns in his rookie season. He ended the season on an absolute tear, man. So not only were his advanced metrics great and his target share and his volume and all that, but from weeks 11 to 18, he never had under 11 fantasy points, and that's half PPR, right? So in PPR, he was even crazier. He had 25 fantasy points in the championship game, so he won people leagues. People have a very nice, not sour taste in their mouth about Lad McConkey. They haven't really added anyone in free agency. Their depth chart is still really just him. Now, a lot of people are expecting them to probably draft somebody in the draft. I don't think that's going to really affect Lad McConkey that much. I think his role is solidified. He's like a slot player, but he actually plays further down the field. So his route tree is actually pretty solid, right? They don't just throw him like short yardage stuff the way maybe last year's Cooper Kupp did. So Lad McConkey, I think, is safe, man. I think he's a dude that I'd be trying to target. He's going to have another season to, familiarize himself with Justin Herbert. This is just a dude who's like all signs are pointing up, right? He's only a rookie. So dude's just been an absolute baller his whole career. Somebody that I'd be trying to go buy for sure. Next player on the list, this one's a little bit rough. Rome Odunze. So he was actually cat shit last year. He was very bad. And he was really highly touted, right? Probably like the third wide receiver coming out of the draft. Somebody that a lot of people were actually excited about, right? We all thought this Chicago Bears offense would be lit. Fucking Caleb Williams was telling the punter, like, get used to not punting, right? Like, what an absolute letdown that was, bro. I have so many clips on my channel of me just shitting on the Bears, specifically the offensive line and how bad they were. But we're expecting something different this year. We're expecting the Bears to be much better. And we're expecting Caleb to take another step. Now, Caleb showed a lot of good last year. He showed a lot of like Mahomes type plays at some moments. But, the Bears were just bad, bro. They would start the game, they get the ball, they run DeAndre Swift up the gut. He loses like 4 yards each time. They punt. They go down 7-0. They do the same thing, DeAndre Swift. This time they'll dump it off to fucking what's his fucking name, dude? The backup running back. He loses 3 yards. They punt again. They get scored on again. So that was basically the Bears offense or the Bears season. They were always playing down like 28-0 by halftime. So just brutal beat. But here is, this is a Rome Odunze clip. Why am I talking about the Bears? So he was stuck behind Fat Keenan, dude. So Fat Keenan Allen, they were shoving him down everybody's throats. He was bad. But he was actually not that bad statistically. Like, he was actually scoring fantasy points, and probably like for the most part their best wide receiver on the season. And he was morbidly obese, dude. He was at least 65 pounds overweight, like me. So he's gone. DJ Moore's still there. He's only 27 years old, so he should still be like a mainstay in the offense. But I think that Rome Odunze starts to creep in, become the number one preferred target for Caleb Williams. So I'd be trying to buy a Rome Odunze in terms of value or like cost. I'd be willing to trade like a late first for him. I know that's a little bit rich, a little bit crazy because of how bad he was last season, but just the pedigree, dude, what he was able to do in college, I think I've seen enough basically. So Rome Odunze is that guy. Next on the list, Adam Thielen. No, I'm just kidding. Zay Flowers. So 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. So the touchdowns really let us down in 2024. 14.3 yards per carry, dudes, or yards per catch. The man was an absolute like deep stretch wide receiver with yards after the catch capability. The dude is absolutely dynamic with the ball in his hand. So he was a disappointment. Let's be honest. He boomed like 1 or 2 weeks in the season. The other weeks he was fucking unusable. Exploded your team. You probably lost. I don't know if anybody actually like won a fantasy league with Zay Flowers on a roster. Like, even if he was on your roster, I think your roster was cursed. I haven't seen anybody even in the playoffs with him. But he should be better moving forward. He showed me everything he needed to show us on tape. The dude's absolutely dynamic, a fantastic wide receiver, probably one of the most exciting players with the ball in his hands, as I mentioned. But here's the situation around him. So DeAndre Hopkins is now in town, or the ghost, or the dead body that they wheeled in of DeAndre Hopkins. So he's like 36 to 83 years old. I don't know exactly. I think he's actually 33. But Rashad Bateman also in town still. Both of these guys are touchdown merchants. They don't do much from a volume point of view. They just get touchdowns. Now here's why Zay Flowers is kind of on the fringe, right? I mean, I'm trying to dig deep on these videos. He's not going to be a touchdown guy. I think he can improve on the 4 he had last season. I think DeAndre Hopkins is probably going to get his 4 or 5 like goal line fade touchdowns. Rashad Bateman again going to probably get his like 4, 5, or 6 touchdowns. The rest will go to Zay Flowers, maybe Mark Andrews if he's still in town. I think he's going to be a PPR scam. I don't think you're going to get him for his touchdown equity. He's not going to be like a top 15 guy, I think. I mean, he could break the top 15 off just PPR scam, but he's a guy that I'm looking forward, right? Like I'm looking at like 2 years from now as a dude that I really think will pop off, right? I don't think they're going to extend Bateman. DeAndre Hopkins is probably going to like Obi-Wan Kenobi dissolve, like episode 4 when Darth Vader slashes him and he just dissolves, which is inconsistent because everyone else dies. But I don't know why Obi-Wan dissolved. I don't know. But anyway, fucking stay tuned next week and we'll dive deep into Obi-Wan. So that's Zay Flowers, man. Buy him now. I think you can get him for like a 2nd round pick, and that I would happily pay that. Next player on the list is going to be Marvin Harrison. So Marvin Harrison, easy thesis, dude. We'll breeze through this. He was the most hyped wide receiver ever, right? He was getting drafted in the top of the 1st round, early 2nd round last season. Almost everyone and their fucking dog was saying that is probably the worst fantasy pick. That's the worst click in fantasy last season, and it turned out to be true. Probably. I mean, there were some also shit picks, but for the most part, Marvin Harrison was a letdown. But actually not really. So he had 62 catches, 885 yards, 8 touchdowns, dude. Like, I don't know. Maybe I didn't watch enough Cardinals film. I don't even think their fans watch anymore, but 8 touchdowns is kind of surprising to me. So I think he can only go up from here. They have the same offensive coordinator, same head coach. I think it's Bruce Ketzing or something like that. Like, he was going to go to Chicago, but he ended up staying. So just a little bit of familiarity there. I think if he knows what's good for him, if he knows how to keep his job, just feed the man, dude. I don't understand why you would rely or lean your offense on a James Conner who's like, he's great, dude. I love James Conner. He's probably like, he reminds me of the old days, like whatever that means, right? He's one of those old school running backs, absolute tank, fucking seeks contact, but dude, he's old. Why are you building your offense around him when you drafted Marvin Harrison with the 4th overall pick? There were some moments in the season when they were leaning Marvin Harrison, trying to get him involved early. I think they lean on that going into the next season. So Marvin Harrison is that player. The next player on this list is going to be 2 years ago. He was everybody's favorite wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb. So he ends last season with 101 catches, insane, 1,200 yards. I don't know how many touchdowns. I'll have to look that up, but he then injures his shoulder. And keep in mind, he didn't have Dak Prescott from like midway through week 9 and on. So he still goes 101 catches. He was just getting absolutely peppered targets by fucking, I don't know, Bus Stop Magoo or Joe Blow. I don't know who the quarterback was for Dallas. His name escapes me. But yeah, he's going to be an absolute clear alpha wide receiver, dude. I mean, pull up the depth chart yourself. It's CeeDee Lamb at the absolute tippy top of the mountain. Tippy top of the mountain, dude, but we're still not at the top. Is CeeDee Lamb. And after CeeDee Lamb is fucking my Uncle Muhammad. After my Uncle Muhammad is me. And after me is my other fucking Uncle Hamoudi, dude. So CeeDee Lamb's an absolute stud, alpha wide receiver. Nobody else is on the team. Even if they draft a like top echelon wide receiver in the draft, it doesn't matter. It's going to be the CeeDee Lamb show with Dak. They have the rapport. He's still very young. He's coming off 101 catches, dude, with fucking Bus Stop Magoo throwing the ball. Like, it's going to be the CD show. So those are the players, man. Those are the boys. Dude, if you like this video, if these players, let me know if you disagree with any of them. If these players are guys that you're interested in, go out and grab them, dude. Send some trades, see what's up, see if you can, fleece your teammates. Like I said, man, sneak into their house, take a shit in the tank, and their, the water tank, not in the toilet. fleece your teammates, dude. They are to be fleeced. That is their purpose, dude. Is for them to give you their best players. So, hope you liked this video, man. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit me up with a like. It's the best way to show support, dude. Subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.